And OPEC remains optimistic about robust summer demand with a strong forecast for 2024. So with oil prices already topping $90 a barrel, any economic boost could send oil prices even higher. They also expect summer to see increased fuel demand, especially for jet fuel, gasoline as well as diesel. So that's the view coming in from OPEC as well, Vinny.
Absolutely, but let's move on and talk about some of the other important global stories. Like I was mentioning the US CPI data that came in. When you look at the US inflation, that's a bit of a rise, more than expected, coming in at 3.5% on a YOY basis. The core CPI, which excludes the volatile food and energy prices, has risen even faster at 3.8% compared to March 2023. This data is coming in higher than the economists and experts were expecting, making investors very wary of rate cut in the future, which Goldman Sachs sees in July now rather than in June. This inflation data, remember, is still above the Federal Reserve's target of 2%. So you're keeping an eye on that.
Absolutely, definitely keeping an eye on that as well. But moving on to some interesting updates coming in then, and the European Central Bank is holding its record high interest rates for now, but a rate cut be on the horizon as soon as June. Now, despite concerns about stubbornly high US inflation, ECB President Christine Lagarde suggests a rate cut may be appropriate if inflation heads back to target. She also emphasized the ECB's independence from the Fed and the differing economic conditions in the Eurozone when compared to the US as well.
And some update again, IMF's Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva predicts that the Fed could start cutting interest rates by the end of 2024. However, she advised caution, urging the Fed to wait for clear signals from the economic data. Georgieva also remains optimistic about the US economy's resilience, but warned against the prolonged high interest rates, which could possibly be a risk on the globe as well and pose some risk on that front. Now, she suggested that other central banks may diverge from the Fed's path.
All right, that's the word coming in from IMF boss. But moving on then, Morgan Stanley's stock took a hit after reports of multiple federal probes into its wealth management unit. Now, the SEC, Treasury Department, OCC and Federal Reserve are investigating money laundering controls and procedures for vetting clients. Concerns center around whether the bank adequately investigates client identities and the sources of their wealth as well. Regulators are also examining how the bank monitors financial activity, particularly by international clients.
And Kathy Wood's ARK Investment Management has made a move into the world of artificial intelligence and announced its stake in Silicon Valley's OpenAI. While the details of ARK Investment remain undisclosed, its team sees OpenAI as a leader in AI revolution. This investment comes amidst Kathy Wood's success with ARK Innovation ETF, although recent challenges that we saw have emerged with a decline in the Tesla share prices.
And moving on then, US President Joe Biden reassured Japan and the Philippines of the United States' unwavering commitment to their defense amid ongoing tensions with China. With a historic trilateral summit, Biden emphasized solidarity in forging a better future. Both Japan and the Philippines face territorial disputes with China, notably over the Senkaku Islands and the South China Sea respectively. Biden underscored the importance of mutual defense treaties as well.
Let's talk about Apple. Apple is gearing up for a significant transformation of its Mac lineup by introducing a new family of in-house processors, the M4 chip, aimed at enhancing artificial intelligence capabilities. This overhaul, intended to rejuvenate sluggish computer sales, will encompass every Mac model, replacing Intel chips. The upcoming signal is a strategic shift in Apple's hardware strategy, and no doubt saw the shares passing in trade yesterday.